Hello and welcome to the 2025 edition of Race Against Drugs. I'm Gabriel Riviere-Reed. I will be your master of ceremonies today. I'm a producer at Your TV Cornwall and a host of the local news magazine show Community Matters. We'd like to start by acknowledging that we are gathered, or I'm right now, sitting in the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Mohawks of Akwesasne. I'm sure many of you are as well, and we certainly encourage you to have those conversations and do some research into the indigenous peoples that came before you and were keepers of this land. As settlers, we are certainly grateful to be gathered here, and for those that have been keepers of this land from time immemorial. And we're going to start today's proceedings with words from the Grand Chief of the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne, Grand Chief Lazor.
Hello, and welcome to the 2025 edition of Race Against Drugs. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Leonard Lazor, and I have the great honor of serving as Grand Chief for the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne. Today we come together for more than just a thrill of racing. We unite in the spirit of encouragement, empowerment, and the positive choices. Yawa for being here. I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the participating organizations whose dedication has made this event possible. Race Against Drugs is not just an exciting experience for our youth, it's a powerful reminder that the choices that we make today shape the paths we walk tomorrow. Life is a journey filled with both open roads and unexpected turns. Embrace those opportunities ahead. Stay focused on your goals and let the challenges you face become stepping stones to success. Surround yourself with those who uplift you and inspire you, and always make choices that reflect your values and aspirations. And if you ever find yourself veering off course, remember, you have the strength to realign, the courage to move forward, and a community that stands behind you. Believe in yourself and trust that you have the power to overcome any obstacle in your way. Yawagoa, thank you for being part of this meaningful event, and to all who have worked tirelessly to make this a success. Enjoy the day, have fun, and most importantly, commit to a future free from drugs. Toa.
Hi guys, my name is Marcy Thompson. I am a community support worker with the Akwesasne Child and Family Services, and today I'm here with...
Hi, my name is Nathan Thompson. I'm the community service officer for the Akwesasne Mohawk Police.
Today we're here to talk to you about some nicotine products and marijuana products. What can you tell us about these products, Nate?
So the first product we'll talk about would be nicotine vaping. Nicotine vaping is a common product that's used throughout middle school and high school at this time. They're very small, they're very discreet, very undetectable. One of the main ingredients in that is nicotine.
Those are really young ages. What kind of effects do you think that these products have on those young brains?
Well, nicotine typically affects their ability to concentrate in school, which is very problematic for the teachers as well as the students. It affects their attention spans.
Would that have any sort of effects on their mental health as well?
If the student is already experiencing social anxiety or stressors, they can just add to it because then they feel that they're falling more behind than they actually were from the start.
Why do you think these youth at these young ages are trying these products?
There's a bunch of reasons they can be introduced to these products by their social peers or social networks. So socially, they may be doing it just to fit in, or maybe to find a new network of friends. They could also be experiencing high stress, high anxiety, maybe they're depressed. And when they consume nicotine, it releases dopamine into the brain. Dopamine makes the body and the brain feel good. It's a feel-good chemical. However, the effects of dopamine are only for 1 to 2 hours. Once that effect wears off, then guess what? They basically want another hit of dopamine to have that feel-good sensation again, which can lead to nicotine addiction.
Is it as bad as they say it is?
They're actually a lot worse than what we actually know now. It increases your blood pressure, increases your heart rate, increases your stress levels. The tiny sacs in your lungs can be scarred, which narrows your airway, and that can lead to the popcorn lung syndrome, and most people are hospitalized for that. Coughing, wheezing, coughing up blood. Terrible if you ask me.
I didn't really know those were all as bad as they say it are, because again, they make it look so cool.
You're totally right. There's tons of influencers that push nicotine products.
Are all of these vaping products regulated? Like, do we really know what's in these?
A lot of the products are currently not regulated, especially the flavored products, which is a huge concern, is because flavors cater towards the youth. They like the taste. That's another way to get youth addicted to nicotine.
With addictive products, usually comes some sort of issue with quitting. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So common experiences with withdrawal tend to be irritability, restlessness, decreases in appetite or increases in appetite, Can affect your sleeping as well, your lack of concentration, cravings for more nicotine. Eventually you start building up a tolerance to nicotine, so you're gonna start craving higher concentrations of nicotine. Once you get to that point, nicotine might not be your fix anymore, and you might transition to other gateway drugs. A common development with people that are addicted to vaping and nicotine is that they tend to develop a alcohol disorder as well. So there's about a 15% chance that you're also gonna develop an alcohol disorder along with your nicotine disorder. And there's approximately about 11% chance that you will develop a other drug disorder along with your nicotine addiction. So it seems to be a gateway drug that leads to other addictions down the road.
So one thing that I've actually heard of is vaping with marijuana.
So vaping with marijuana is very troublesome because the FDA also has very low regulations. So you are not exactly fully aware of what you're actually consuming. The concentrations can be a lot more, a lot less.
Are these legal products?
Usually they'll have a stamp on it that this product is currently regulated by the government. You have to be at least 18 years old to consume these products. A lot of youth are not 18 years old, usually in middle school, high school, and are consuming these products, so that'd be considered illegal actually.
What sort of consequences come with that?
Well, if you're found vaping in school or using THC products in school, usually you could be suspended from school. Police are tend to be notified, and also maybe social services will also be notified to investigate and see what's going on at home. One aspect that a lot of people have a misconception is that you cannot be impaired by THC while driving. THC affects your concentration, affects your reaction time, your speeds can vary, your mind can wander. All these different factors play into a role of being impaired and can lead to an arrest if you cause an accident or injury.
So are these products inexpensive?
So one of the reasons why that youth are tend to lead towards these products is how accessible they are to them. They're in tons of gas stations, corner stores. Some of their older friends can supply it to them. They're actually fairly expensive, so it's gonna cost you a lot financially in the long run. And it'll also cost you your mental health possibly and your physical health in the long run. So
what you're saying is just don't even start?
I would highly recommend not to start. Use other sorts of stress relievers such as exercise, meditation, reading, playing sports, video games. Common misconception, people think that it's not a very good habit. It's actually fairly good. It's a good stress reliever.
Those are really great suggestions, Nate. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
High five.
We'd like to thank Grand Chief Lazor for those wonderful words, and of course from that entertaining and informative video from the Akwesasne Police Service. And now we are going to learn a little bit more about alcohol from Constable McPherson from the SD&G Ontario Provincial Police.
Hello, grade 6 and 7 students of the Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry in the City of Cornwall School Boards. Welcome to this year's Race Against Drugs virtual edition. I'm Constable John McPherson of the SD&G OPP. Today I'm going to chat with you about the issues surrounding the use of marijuana in driving. Many drugs impair one's ability to drive. Depending on the drug type, it can reduce alertness, alter depth perception, impair concentration and attention span, slow reaction time, and affect motor skills and visual function. Studies show that cannabis can have a negative impact on driving, including reduced concentration and attention span, slower reaction time, and an altered perception of time and distance. Cannabis is the most commonly found drug and is present in almost half of the drug-positive fatal crashes. Just like alcohol, you are not allowed to have any cannabis in your system. If you are driving and a police officer finds that you are impaired by drug, you will face serious penalties, including the possibility of losing your driver's license. You may face very expensive fines. Your vehicle will be taken away from you for an extended period of time, and you may be charged criminally and could spend time in jail. To demonstrate the effect of marijuana on a person's ability to perform a simple task, we are going to visit grade 6 students at the St. Mary's St. Cecilia School in Wartsburg. 3 students will be performing tasks normally, and then they will be asked to perform the same task while using special goggles that simulate being impaired by cannabis. I think you will be surprised at the effect of cannabis has on their ability to perform a simple task. We're now out at the St. Mary's St. Cecilia School. I have with me 3 prolific athletes from the school. They're grade 6 students. I've got Ishan, a very good soccer player, very coordinated. I've got Hallie here. She just had an undefeated hockey season. And I've got Will, who is a very good little athlete as well. In my hand is the goggles that we use to simulate what it's like to be impaired. And this is the demonstration without wearing the goggles. Attempt to kick a soccer ball without wearing the goggles. He's going to try to kick the ball with the goggles on. Without goggles on. She is wearing the goggles. Let's see how she does. To walk the yellow line, toe to toe, without goggles on. Goggles on.
Thank you to Constable McPherson and the OPP for that great video. Again, very informative. And throughout the day today, we're going to be learning a lot about the dangerous effects of alcohol, as well as drugs, as well as some healthy alternatives. So we certainly hope that you're enjoying things and learning a lot as well that will help you make the right choices as you head into adolescence and, of course, adulthood. And our next video comes from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and Mark Villeneuve.
Hi everyone, my name is Constable Mark Villeneuve. I'm with the RCMP in Cornwall, and I'd like to have a brief discussion with you this morning in regards to the use of opioids in our community in Cornwall, and more notably the use of fentanyl. So I invite you to come on patrol with me this morning and we can have a quick discussion. Thank you. I'd like to maybe just touch base on what is a drug. It's a chemical. It's a chemical given by a doctor to prevent an illness. It's usually also given to people after operations or fighting certain diseases. People also take drugs because they give a pleasant feeling when they're not taken correctly. Taken correctly with a prescription through a doctor, you'll be relatively safe. As I mentioned at the start, I'd like to have a conversation about what are opioids. Opioids is a class of drugs which are produced from the poppy plant. It's a medication. It's used to relax the body and to relieve pain. People can misuse these when they take the medication other than when it's prescribed by a doctor, or they take someone else's medicine, or they simply take it to get high. People will often misuse these by taking the pills and crushing them, opening the capsules and dissolving them in water, and then using them to inject into their body. As previously mentioned there, to relieve pain, they do have harmful effects such as drowsiness, confusion, and they will definitely affect your breathing, which could lead to a coma, which could very possibly lead to death. Once people start abusing or taking medication, they develop what is called a tolerance. Tolerance is when you need more of that same drug to get the same effect, to get the same feeling of pleasure. As people build tolerance, it leads to an addiction. And at that point, people have no control. People will sell their personal possessions. They will give away. They will trade. They will resort to committing criminal acts. So they can sell what they steal to get money so they can provide for their addiction. As I mentioned a while ago, the fentanyl issue in Cornwall is a real problem, not only here in Cornwall, but in other cities as well. Fentanyl is a type of opioid, and it's used primarily by doctors for cancer patients to treat their pain. Street names for fentanyl will be Apache, Dance Fever, Friend, Goodfellas, and Jackpot. The fentanyl is the most common drug involved in overdose deaths. In 2017, there were 59.8% of all overdose deaths were as a result of fentanyl. The reason that fentanyl is so dangerous is because it's extremely powerful, and some drugs, such as fentanyl, are mixed with other drugs such as heroin and cocaine to become more addictive. You can't smell it, taste it, or see it. And because it's so strong that the dose that will get you high can also kill you as well. There's a very small margin in the difference. Please know, guys, that everyone handles fentanyl differently. One person who can handle a certain dose, it can kill someone else. And please remember that the piece the size of a grain of salt can kill you. For police, it's a real concern because we can come in contact with that when we're searching someone or we're searching a vehicle and we find bags of pills or powder, and it will take just a light dusting on us to ingest it, not knowingly, and as a result we'll become drowsy, and it will affect our breathing, and we could very well fall unconscious. That's why we carry a drug on us to counterdict that. Guys, I can't stress enough the importance of making good choices, of making sure that you stay away from drugs, don't even try them. If it gets to a point where an addiction begins, this will definitely affect your future. We all have dreams of doing something in life, of starting a career, a business, and drugs will certainly possibly very much ruin that. Before being a police officer, I was a correctional officer, prison guard in Kingston for 8 years. And I've seen the effects of drugs, what they can do, and the result of making bad choices, which lead you to prison. And this will totally affect the outcome of your life and the direction you'll be taking. So please make wise choices. Please don't be afraid to say no. And if you need help, please reach out to us, the RCMP here in town, in Cornwall, as well as the Cornwall Police Service. We're always there to listen and help you. So I wish you all the best for the rest of this year. And I hope you have a great summer, and best of luck next year. And we'll see each other again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark Villeneuve from the RCMP. Again, certainly important to know what we're facing with in the world when it comes to drugs. The more you know, the better able we are to make the proper decisions. And now I'd like to throw it to the Cornwall Police Service with Acting Deputy Chief Maxwell.
Hello, my name is Chad Maxwell, and I'm the Deputy Chief of Cornwall Police Service. And today, I'm inviting you to participate in Racing Against Drugs. We will be talking to approximately 1,000 grade 6 students from across the city of Cornwall, the territory of Akwesasne, and SDNG. This program aims to educate participants about the dangerous and deadly effects of drugs. Participants will be able to learn about the physical, mental, social, and legal impacts of drug and alcohol abuse. Throughout this event, we will hear stories, share insights, and discuss the vital role that we all play, police and you, in shaping a safe and vibrant community. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our guests, teachers, and community members who have joined us. Your support and involvement are crucial in building trust and fostering positive relationships within our neighborhoods. As we embark on the program, let's remember that each one of us has a role to play in promoting safety and respect. Nothing is more important than one's personal health and safety, and you will learn that you have the power and responsibility to make informed decisions. I wish you a great and impactful event.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Maxwell. And continuing from our friends at the Cornwall Police Service, I'd like to give a big shout out to the team there, who are just part of a much bigger team bringing you this presentation today. They've been hard at work, and I've worked closely with them on the production of this video with you guys. So very happy to work with Cornwall Police Service. And I'm going to throw it now to my friend with a great presentation, a great video, Constable Dan Cloutier.
Hi everyone, my name is Dan Cloutier. I'm a police officer for the City of Cornwall. I always introduce myself as Dan Cloutier because first and foremost, I'm a human. I'm just like you. And that's why today I want to take a moment to speak to you about something very important, and it's going to be from Dan to you. We're going to be talking about drinking and driving. But Dan, why? Why do we have to talk about drinking and driving? I get it. You don't drive, right? You don't hang out at the bars? I understand that, but what I'm afraid of is that you get into a car when after the driver's been drinking. And I can give you many examples of that. We'll say that, you've seen people at parties before, maybe an aunt or an uncle, that, they may have had a glass of wine and they're walking down the hall and they're tipsy a little bit. Well, could you imagine if they're feeling tipsy and they have a hard time walking, that they got to get into a car next and maybe drive you home? That's pretty dangerous. Then you say, yeah, I get it, Dan, and there's a lot of consequences. Why do people drink and drive? Well, could be boredom, could be the first time they do it, so they're not sure. Maybe they do it all the time and gotten away with it. All of what I've just said is excuses, and it's not acceptable. At the end of the day, police are going to be involved, or maybe even somebody could get hurt. So, in speaking about driving, why don't you come with me for a virtual ride?
Now let's take a ride. While under simulated effects of alcohol, you'll see that this ride is not much fun.
So let's recap the video. What would be the options here? Contact a friend for a ride home, take your bike, call a taxi. Even an option would be to contact your parents, even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Your parents would much rather have you contact them. They most likely will be upset, yes, but they will get over that. And they will be quite happy and thankful that you contacted them to bring them home. Unfortunately, as a police officer, we've all seen too many tragic incidences where there's been fatalities where the right choice was not made, that a simple call at home or a friend or a taxi would have had a different outcome. So thank you for saying no to drugs. And I'd like to introduce Joel Richer from Patent Martial Arts. Thank you.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Sifu Joel Richer from the Patent Martial Arts Schools and Fitness in Ontario and Quebec. And we'll do a little fit break today because we've been sitting and it's time to exercise and to move a little bit. And I got Malik with me to help me out. Malik's from the Marie Tanguay School in Cornwall, and we're ready to go. Malik's going to do the exercise, and I want everybody to stand up and find yourself some room in your classroom and space out because we're going to need some room to move, and we'll do some exercise, 4 or 5 exercises from there, and we'll begin. We'll start with some jumping jacks. We'll do some for 30 seconds. Go. Arms all the way up. That's it. You're doing good, guys. 10 seconds left. And stopping. Good. Very good. Now we'll do some squats, but we'll do it, I'll say martial arts style. We'll do a little bit of squat, a little bit different. That means he's going to squat and he's going to kick. That's it. Squat, kick on the other side, and you'll alternate left to right, right to left, so on and so forth for 30 seconds. Begin, go. Nice squats. Do as best you can. Make sure you have enough room. Ten seconds left. All right, very good. Now we'll need a little bit of room too again. We'll do some leg raises. Now we're going to stretch our legs a little bit. That means you'll put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to bring your back leg as high as you can, keeping your leg locked. That's it. And we'll do 10 on each side and begin. Go. That's it. Other side now. Just switch your feet and just going up. Keeping your leg locked, toes pointing up, and go as high as you can. And stopping. Good. Now we'll do some lunges. Hands on your hips. And you're going to take a step forward. That's it. That's it. And left to right, right to left for lunges for about 30 seconds. You're doing good, guys. Keep it up. It's all about to have a healthy lifestyle. Five seconds left. And stopping. Good. Now we'll do one last one. And it's all an exercise that everybody knows because you're doing it at school. And I will challenge you this morning. That means medic's going to go in the plank position. It will be on your elbows and forearms, body straight. Make sure that your butt is not too up and it's not too down. Nice and straight. And we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Don't start right away. But it's only 30 seconds. As some of you is going to say, well, it's only 30 seconds. But if I see somebody fall or the teacher, all right, it could be only 30 seconds or maybe it's going to be longer. All right, 30 seconds and lock it up and begin go. Try to hold it nice and straight. Now we're doing it as a team. Nice and straight, lock it up. If nobody falls, we got 10 seconds left. Five seconds. And stopping. Good. Very good. Very good. Give yourself a hand, guys. Give yourself a hand. Very good. Very good. All right. That was the fit break. And just from there to move, make sure to, like all the others said from there, make sure to say no to drugs because it will affect your like your activities that you're doing on a regular basis. Could be a sport, any type of physical activity or mental activity. That's why it will affect your balance, your coordination, your endurance, your stamina, your speed, your power. Like you saw with the OPP earlier from there, doing different sports will affect that. That's why I gotta make sure to say no to drugs. And thank you.
Thank you to the Cornwall Police Service and our friend Joel Richer for that those very, again, fun and informative videos. Joel, I've known for a very long time, and I know how much fun people have when participating in his activities. So thank you once again, Joel. And as we continue learning about safety, certainly safety outdoors is of the tantamount importance. Spring is here for now. Nice weather, and people are going to be outdoors, and we're going to learn a little bit more about staying safe from Conservation Officer Rupert from the Ministry of Natural Resources.
Good afternoon and welcome to Race Against Drugs 2022. My name is Gary Rupert. I'm a conservation officer with the Ontario Ministry of Northern Development, Mines, Natural Resources and Forestry. Today we're going to talk about ATVs and safety and drinking and driving. Before we get into the main part of it, we're going to talk real quick about helmets and ATVs. Helmets are one of the most important pieces of equipment that you can wear on an ATV. I have three kinds of helmets here today. I have what's called an open face helmet. It doesn't have a chin guard. I have the closed faced helmet, which has the chin guard. The open faced helmet is one that I do not like. The reason being is if you were to hit something with this helmet on, there's no protection for your face. So when you hit something, your face is actually the first thing that hits. With the closed faced helmets, if you were to hit something, the first thing that hits is that chin guard. It gives you that extra layer of protection. This is a all-right helmet. It's a very old helmet. I use it for demonstrations. This helmet is an adequate helmet. The helmet that I wear when I'm working is the full-faced helmet. The whole face lifts up if you want to take it off. It's a more expensive helmet, but it's worth the price to pay for a good helmet. So let's get into the safety of the ATVs and what we're really here to talk about today in Racing Against Drugs. ATVs are fun. They're great things to ride around on. You can have lots of fun with them. but they are dangerous. You have to treat them with respect. You have to be careful on them. One of the things that we see a lot of is people driving around with no helmets on. That's a major safety violation for us. It's a definite way that, we're going to stop you, we're going to question the lack of the helmet. The other issue is people that are drinking and driving. Every year we've seen a number of people, they figure I can have 1 or 2 drinks, jump on a 600-700 pound ATV and go riding through the trails at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. Once you've got alcohol in your system, your reaction time on an ATV is dramatically reduced. Unlike a vehicle where you have seat belts, airbags, safety devices, you have none of that on an ATV. If you were to roll this ATV or run into a tree with it or a fence or a pole, you have no protection other than the helmet. And the alcohol is going to greatly reduce that ability to stop and maneuver that ATV. So what happens when you get stopped by myself, a police officer, while under the influence of alcohol or drugs? If we suspect you've been drinking and driving, you will be arrested. You will go to a local detachment where a breathalyzer sample will be taken. If you're found to be impaired, you will be charged for impaired operation of a motor vehicle. It's the same offense as driving a vehicle while drinking and driving. So you've been charged with impaired operation, you end up going to court. You're found guilty at court. The possible outcomes from court is definitely a fine. You could face jail time. You could lose, the ATV could be permanently seized, so you're going to lose that $12,000, $15,000 ATV that you've worked so hard to buy. Penalties in this are all the people that you see at Race Against Drugs today, police officers, paramedics, teachers, working at the border security. None of those jobs are available to you. You will not be hired if you have a criminal record. If you like to travel to the United States, you will not be allowed to travel into the United States. You'll be screened at the border. If you're found to have a criminal record, you will be turned back from entering the United States. The same thing, people from the United States trying to come into Canada. If you have a criminal record, you will be turned back at the border. You could also face jail time, depending on the seriousness of the situation. How many times have you been caught before? You could face jail time as well. So what we also see a lot of is, someone been drinking, they go over to their friend's house and they get their friend to get on the ATV with them. The friend knows that they've been drinking, they know that they're impaired, but because of peer pressure, they decide to get on the ATV with the person. Same idea, you're now going down the trail at 40, 50 miles an hour. Driver loses control because of the drugs and the alcohol, and they end up hitting a tree or a pole. The driver gets ejected, minor injuries, but the friend ends up hitting the tree at 60 miles an hour and dies on the scene. I know of at least 3 cases locally where this has happened. The driver was impaired, hit a tree or a pole, and they end up killing their best friend. So now that person has to live with the fact for the rest of their lives that they've just killed their best friend. As I said, ATVs are fun. Enjoy them, treat them with respect, drive them with respect, have fun on them, play in the mud, and one day I hope to see you somewhere out on the trail.
to talk to you about the race against drugs. So with the Cornwall Fire Service, we respond to any emergencies or any situations where you might need help in the city. But make sure you do your part to stay safe and say no to drugs.
Once again, thank you to the Ministry of Natural Resources as well as Cornwall Fire Services. And certainly fire safety is another really important thing to keep top of mind. We certainly encourage, again, everyone to be fire safe and to make sure that you know all you need to know and have all your plans in place when potentially dealing with this life-threatening issue. And now we're going to learn a little bit more about rail safety from Via Rail Canada Police Services and CN Police.
Hi, I'm Constable Kite with CN Police Service.
Bonjour, c'est Jean Fadi, policier pour le service de police de Via Rail Canada.
We're here to share a few rail safety tips today.
On est ici pour vous partager des conseils sur la sécurité ferroviaire.
It's important to note that trains don't always run on the same schedule, and they can approach from any direction and at any time. Just because you didn't see a train here yesterday doesn't mean there won't be one today.
Il est important de se souvenir que les trains n'ont pas les mêmes horaires. Ils peuvent arriver à n'importe quel moment et n'importe quelle direction. Cela ne veut pas dire que vous n'avez pas vu de train la veille, qu'il n'y en aura pas un aujourd'hui.
Operators of a train will always report illegal activities, including trespassing, to police when they observe it. If you're caught, you'll be removed and could be issued a very expensive fine.
Les conducteurs de train vont toujours rapporter les activités illégales comme les intrusions sur les voies ferrées à la police. Si vous êtes intercepté, vous serez escorté hors des voies ferrées en sécurité et vous êtes passible d'une amende salée.
Even if there aren't any trains present, there are other dangers within the railway tracks that could put yourself in harm's way, such as electrical equipment, switches, and debris along the railway tracks.
Même s'il n'y a pas de train qui arrive dans les environs, il y a plusieurs différents dangers qui peuvent survenir sur les voies ferrées, tels que les équipements électriques, les débris qui peuvent être sur les voies et les équipements ferroviaires qui peuvent traîner sur les voies ferrées.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to these important tips on railway safety.
Merci d'avoir pris le temps d'écouter ces conseils sur la sécurité ferroviaire.
Thank you, Anis and Jordan. Certainly, we know that rail safety, again, is top of mind these days. We're hearing a lot of unfortunate incidents related to railroad tracks. And again, we just encourage you to be smart and be safe anytime you might be near railroad tracks. And we're going to move on with the proceedings today with a presentation from the Canada Border Services Agency.
Welcome to Race Against Drugs. My name is Nicola Piché. I'm the superintendent at the Board of Cornwall, and this is my team. We have Officer Markel, Officer Alexander, Officer Gauthier, and Officer Latour. They're going to talk to you about not bringing drugs at the border.
Hi, I'm Officer Markel, and here we have some of the drugs and substances that have been found at the border. There's all different kinds. We have heroin, hash oil, prescription narcotics, such as oxycodone, codeine, cocaine. There's also there's different types of paraphernalia that are used for drugs. There's needles, there's razor blades, there's a spoon. And this is all different things that we've seized here at the Port of Cornwall.
And lots of things that you're going to see is hidden in disguise as different things. So you have a highlighter, what looks like a highlighter, but then you can pull it out and there's drugs hidden inside. There's the bottom of a can, which looks like a regular can, but it's you open the bottom of it and it's not. And if this is found at the border in your vehicle, on your person, there's big penalties. You're going to have a criminal a record, possible prison time, or if you're not Canadian, you're an American coming into Canada, you'll be perhaps banned for life to coming into Canada, bringing in these things.
So as we discussed prior, this is one of the tools we have for detection of different substances, drugs, guns, things like that. So I'm just going to do a demonstration now. So just place the bag on the conveyor belt here. As you can see here, there's a foreign substance that looks like it's not supposed to be there. It looks metallic. There's different modes here that we're able to detect different things. So now I'm just going to take the bag out. So as you can see here, there is a firearm that's undeclared. So this traveler would be subject to arrest.
So this is a swab. We've swapped this phone from a traveler. We're gonna put the sample in this machine.
So this is the ion scan. It's one of the detection tools we talked about earlier. Right now it's reading the sample to see if it can detect any traces of any banned substances. This can detect cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin. So as you can see now, it's an alarm for heroin and opium. So this means that the traveler or something that they have in their possession has recently come in contact with heroin. So now we do a more progressive search of the person. They could have heroin in their pockets, their jacket, it's on their person. If the person were to have heroin on them, they'd be subject to arrest.
Hi everybody, I'm Officer Latour from Canada Border Services Agency. I have one of the best jobs in the world. I'm a canine officer. All throughout Canada, we have about 56 opera dogs that we use throughout from the airports and also the port of entries. The dogs themselves are, well, they have 4 legs for sure, but they also have 20,000 more of a scent than we do. So whenever you've seen before that you've seen the ion scan where they use for the particles, my dog can come in, search a vehicle for about 30 seconds to 40 seconds. If there's a product in there, he'll get it. What I mean by product, I mean narcotics or a gun. That's what they have. At that point in time, that's when we know for sure that there's something in there. So at that point, we'd be arresting the person and going for their rights and cautions. And that person there would actually be either in prison or be banned from Canada altogether. So you see before that blue indicated around this area right here. So opening up this, there's a void in the back. So inside the void here, we had 40 grams of heroin, in which any officer probably wouldn't detect it, but my dog does. At that point in time, the subject would be placed under arrest and prosecution would follow for that. So you can see for Blue, it was a game of hide and seek for him. A lot of the smugglers try to hide stuff in their vehicles. Well, Blue is the #1 for seeking and finding. So, thank you.
There's always lots of opportunity to give back to the community and get involved, and I know that there's opportunities with the Cornwall Police, great opportunities for youth, and we're going to hear a message now from the Cornwall Police Youth Ambassadors.
Peer pressure. The feeling that someone, a peer or a friend, is pushing you to make a specific decision, good or bad.
Different kinds of peer pressure. Peer pressure can impact our choices and behaviors, and sometimes lead to unhealthy or dangerous behavior. Negative peer pressure. Someone pressures you to make a bad decision. For example, bullying a classmate. But peer pressure can also influence us in positive ways. Positive peer pressure. A friend pressures you to make a good decision. For example, volunteering or trying out for the volleyball team.
Hello, Mr. Legoro. Thank you for speaking with us today. Can you give us an example of situations when students can face peer pressure, negative and positive peer pressure?
Peer pressure situations are everywhere. They're pretty omnipresent at the time, especially on the negative side with social media now. As students or teenagers feel pressure and peer pressure all the time. Like it's not just at school or at work or at home. It's everywhere due to social media. Oftentimes what students will do is they'll issue themselves a TikTok challenge or a social media challenge where students or people are encouraged to try certain things or to steal an item or to vandalize something or to try vaping or to do certain instances that, you know, normally they wouldn't feel that pressure, but because they're present in those groups online and in these chat rooms, sometimes there are certain likes or comments or points that are attributed, and that becomes a great challenge for the teenagers to deal with that, you know, we didn't have even a few years ago. On a positive side, sometimes a little pressure is a good thing for students to or teenagers to be able to try something different. You know, you want to encourage to go try out for the basketball team or push yourself to perform even better for the class presentation, or just to give a little encouragement or that extra little nudge that someone needs to really take that leap and to go and to try something. So there are positive instances of a little bit of peer pressure.
Thank you.
Spoken. A peer or group of peers might ask, suggest, or try and persuade you to do something. For example, smoking. Come on, don't be such a chicken. Just take a puff.
Silent or unspoken, this type of peer pressure is more subtle and indirect. It involves peers influencing each other by their behaviors and their actions.
For example, a group of popular kids might be seen hanging out and drinking alcohol. Even if they don't say anything to pressure others to join in, just seeing the group acting in a certain way might lead others to feel like drinking is the cool thing to do.
Dealing with peer pressure.
Know yourself. Be clear about your values and decisions. Understand why you are making the best decision for you. Don't change your way of thinking and acting just to follow the crowd. And stay true to what's important to you.
Have confidence in yourself and your decisions. Know that you are responsible for your decisions, the consequences that result from them. Don't give in. Stand up for yourself and what you believe in. If you are unsure of your decision, talk to someone you know and trust.
Learn to say no. It's often easier to say yes than it is to say no. Saying no can be hard. We feel like we have to explain ourselves and fear being judged. Feeling accepted is more important, and sometimes people make bad decisions in order to feel accepted.
But how can I say no? Say why you don't want to do something. For example, it's illegal.
Look what I found. You want some?
No, I'm sorry. I know it's illegal and I don't want to get in trouble. Leave, remove yourself from the situation.
Look what I found. You want some? Make up an excuse. Look what I found. You want some?
No, sorry, I gotta go to football practice. Use humor.
Look what I found. You want some?
No, sorry, I gotta go feed my T-Rex. Suggest doing something else.
Look what I found. You want some?
No, let's just go for a walk instead.
And just say no.
You want some?
No. Choose the friends you surround yourself with. A good friend inspires you to make good decisions. A good friend is someone you trust. A good friend will respect and support your choices and allow you to be the person you want to be. Our choices of friends strongly influence the way we think, act, and communicate with others.
A recipe for dealing with peer pressure. SSTA. S. Stop. S. Step back. T. Think. A. Act.
Come on, dude, you have to do it. Everybody's doing it.
If you don't do it, you're a little girl.
Come on, just do it. Everybody's doing it. Put your big boy pants on. You're gonna get kicked out of the crib. You can do it.
If you don't do it, you're a little girl.
Be a man.
Go, dude, just go.
Sat down in the suit, fixed on up, it wasn't you. By finished closing.
All right, thank you to the Cornwall Police Youth Ambassadors. And now I do want to warn you that the next video is very intense. You're going to see images of a very graphic nature, but a very important message from this video. Very well made, but again, we just warn you that it is not for the faint of heart, but a very important message coming up. And so I will throw it to this video by Emergency Services.
As the paramedic services, we are far too often called upon to respond to drug overdoses. Our race is against time.
Today we present a far too common scenario of the consequences of drug overdose, brought to you by the paramedics who deal with them every day.
My name's Lee Keeler. I've seen 2 this month.
I'm Medic Randy Lalone. I've seen 3 this month.
I'm Alyssa LaFleche, and I've seen 5 this month.
My name's Dave. I overdosed once this month.
Code 4, 18-year-old male, drug overdose. Possible VSA, responding with the PRU.
Not another one. This is my 3rd this month.
I know, Randy, that's brutal. Every time I do one of these, a little piece of me gets ripped out. I can't imagine how the family feels. What's going on?
We have an 18-year-old male patient, VSA, post-drug overdose. Him and his friends went to a party tonight. They wanted to try some new drugs. They don't know what they were, and they don't know what was in them. There's no quality control in street drugs.
This needs to stop. This is a healthy 18-year-old. Whatever he took did this to him. I just hope we got here in time. I've been doing Race Against Drugs for 20 years with some great success. Lately, overdose is up 400%. What I used to see 3 overdoses a year, now I'm seeing 3 a month. What is it I'm missing? Look, I'm getting tired. I hate doing this. This doesn't make any sense. As medics, we see people die. I see people die in car crashes. I see people die of cancer and other illnesses. I see our elders pass with dignity, as they should. Those I can understand. I can explain those. This is a normal, healthy 18-year-old that took something and we're having trouble getting his heart started. I need your help. We need your help. You decide whether to use drugs or not. That's your decision to make. Make it today, before somebody offers you drugs, and they will if they haven't already. Maybe we can continue this conversation at a later point. I feel it's important enough, and I feel you're important enough. Let's go back and check to see how our patient's doing.
Hi, doctor. I have an 18-year-old male patient, VSA, secondary to a drug overdose. We've had 3 analysis, 3 no shocks, and patient's been in asystole throughout. Okay. All right, everyone. Our base hospital physician gave us a termination of resuscitation.
TOR, or termination of resuscitation. It means we've done everything for this patient we can. There's nothing else we can do, except now I've got to tell his parents. Would you want to tell his parents?
I wish I would have known. If I would have known, I would have never taken drugs. I wish I'd have known. Now you know.
And that's a wrap for the 2025 edition of Race Against Drugs. Again, I'm Gabriel Riviere-Reed. I've been your Master of Ceremonies. Thank you so much for joining us. We really hope that, again, that you were entertained, that you learned a lot, and that going forward, you will use some of the things that you learned today into making good decisions. Certainly, everyone that's involved with here, and you're going to hear a little bit later, you're going to see a list of the sponsors that made this possible. There's a lot of organizations that worked hard to make this possible. And again, it's all because we believe in you. We believe in your potential to do whatever you want to do in life. But again, that comes with making the right decisions going forward when it comes to drugs, alcohol, healthy life choices. So thank you once again, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you to our valued sponsors. This event is only possible due to our generous sponsors. Merci à nos précieux commanditaires. Cet événement est seulement possible grâce à eux.